So when India's T20 squad for the Asia Cup dropped, it wasn't just another announcement, was it? No, it was more like a bombshell. It kicked off this massive debate, with fans and experts just scratching their heads. So, okay, let's get into it. Let's really unpack what all the fuss is about.
This whole thing, it really comes down to one massive question. How on earth do you leave out two of your most exciting in-form players? I'm talking about Shreyas Iyer and Yashasvi Jaiswal. It's a real head-scratcher, and that's the mystery we're going to dig into. All right, so first things first. Let's talk about the two guys who are at the center of this storm. And look, we're not talking about some fringe players here. These are absolute game changers. I mean, to really get why everyone's so baffled, you've got to look at who these guys are. You have Shreyas Iyer, who basically dragged his team to the IPL finals with some incredible captaincy and, just clutch batting when it mattered. And then there's Yashasvi Jaiswal, the million-dollar boy, a guy everyone agrees is a future superstar. So leaving them both out, it doesn't make any sense on paper. And this quote from our source material really just nails the feeling out there. It's not just people disagreeing, it's a genuine disbelief in the logic here. The argument is simple. A player performing at that level, consistently, leaving him out is just, completely illogical. But okay, this isn't just about the who. It's really about the why. And this right here is where things get really weird. It's the logic, or maybe the lack of logic, that's got everyone so confused. So here's the biggest complaint. The selection criteria seems to change depending on who they're looking at. There's no consistency, right? I mean, if you're building a team, you'd think there's a plan, a philosophy. But it feels like they're using one rulebook for some players and a totally different one for others. Okay, let's look at a perfect example. Jitesh Sharma. He's in the squad. Why? Because he had a great IPL. Okay, cool. So IPL performance is the key metric. We get it. But wait a minute. Shreyas Iyer and Yashasvi Jaiswal also had fantastic IPL seasons. So why doesn't that rule apply to them? You see the problem? It's this exact contradiction that's driving everyone crazy. And that leads to this question, which pretty much sums up how everyone feels. And that's the thing. This isn't about some super complex cricket strategy. It's about basic, consistent logic. When it looks like the rules are different for different people, of course you're going to question the whole system. So this isn't just about a couple of players feeling hard done by. No, this kind of inconsistent thinking has a massive ripple effect. It's like a domino chain that ends up knocking the entire balance of the team completely sideways. Okay, just follow this chain of events. Step 1, Shubman Gill is made vice-captain. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it pretty much guarantees he's opening the batting. Boom, step 2. Now, because Gill is locked in, Sanju Samson, who could have been an opener, suddenly has nowhere to go. That's step 3. And the final domino? To make all this work, the middle order gets squeezed, and a guy like Shreyas Iyer is left standing. It's like a game of musical chairs, and he's the one left out. One decision just threw everything into chaos. And the end result of all this shuffling, you're left with a team that's just overloaded with finishers. It's completely lopsided. Yeah, let's talk about the team's actual makeup. You've got a whole bunch of guys who are finishers, but who's the anchor? Who's the versatile guy in the middle who can adapt and provide some stability? The argument is, that guy's Shreyas Iyer, and he's at home. Then you've got other questionable calls, like picking Shivam Dube as an all-rounder. I mean, let's be honest, if you're in a big game and you're counting on his 4 overs to save you, you're probably already losing. And this analogy just hits the nail on the head. Think about that. It's like building a football team and just picking all your favorite strikers, but forgetting you need midfielders to control the game and defenders to stop the other team. It feels like they've just collected a bunch of finishers without thinking about how they all actually work together as a single, balanced unit. And look, this is why people are so worked up about it. This isn't just about the Asia Cup. This is all about the bigger picture. We're talking about the T20 World Cup. These decisions are setting the tone for the main event. And this sets up a really dangerous situation. The biggest fear is this. What if India actually wins the Asia Cup? The teams might not be as strong, and a win can make everyone think, hey, this selection worked. It would validate a flawed strategy. But then when you get to the World Cup against the best teams in the world, that's when the cracks will show. And by then, it's way too late. We've kind of seen this movie before. In the last T20 World Cup, the problem was a top-heavy batting lineup that started way too slow and cost us in a huge semifinal. Now the problem's different. It's too many finishers, but it's still a fundamental imbalance. The worry is that we're just repeating the same mistakes, just with different players, and setting ourselves up for the same kind of heartbreak when it really counts.
So if this squad is so imbalanced, what's the alternative? Well, according to the analysis we're looking at, a much more balanced team would look something like this. You'd have Sanju Samson opening and keeping wicket, Tilak Varma providing stability at number 3. You've got a super flexible middle order with floaters and a really tricky bowling attack with 2 specialist spinners. It's just a totally different philosophy built around balance instead of just one role.
And so, in the end, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Have the selectors pulled off a masterstroke here, seeing something the rest of us are missing? Or is this imbalanced squad a massive gamble that's going to blow up in their faces at the World Cup? We'll have to wait and see, but one thing's for sure. A lot is riding on this.